Welcome to Council Action. My name is Elizabeth Couts. I'm the mayor of the city of Burnsville. Council Action is a summary of the council's regular meeting on Tuesday, May 6. The meeting was called to order at 6:30 p.m. We begin our meetings with a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. We then move on to announcing our upcoming meetings. Council meetings are scheduled for Tuesday, May 20th at 6:30 p.m., Tuesday, June 3rd at 6:30 p.m., and we have a work session that's scheduled for Tuesday, May 13th at 6:30 p.m. We also have a special council meeting that's scheduled for Thursday, May 15th at 5:30 p.m., and this is for the interviews for our commissions who are interviewing for our board and commission positions. And then we also have a work session scheduled for Tuesday, June 10th at 6:30 p.m. And we had one proclamation, and that was for National Public Works Week. Then we move on to citizens' comments. And we had three people who appeared before the City Council to speak. And it was Mr. Len Nachman and Mr. and Mrs. Jeff and Patricia Jurdy. They spoke and announced the Burnsville Historical Society's exhibition that is at the Ames Center, and it opened on Thursday, May 8th. And so please stop in at the Ames Center and see the Burnsville Historical Society exhibition, and it's focusing on 1939, Burnsville in 1939. It's quite an exhibition. Please stop in at the Ames Center and see it. We then move on to additions to the final agenda, and there was one addition to the final agenda, and this was an announcement from our city clerk who needed the council to approve a change in the meeting time for the special work session on the interviews for commissioners. That item was voted onto the agenda, and it will be placed in the miscellaneous area. And there were no other items other than that. So we move on to the consent agenda. And the first item on the consent agenda is the approval of minutes, and we approved all of the minutes of our past meetings, and we approved claims listing. We also approved and accepted the quotes and award the contract for the entrance monument project 13-315. We approved the amendment to number 4 to the communication site lease agreement with Verizon Wireless, LLC, for the Colonial Hills Water Tower antenna site. And we approve a housekeeping amendment to policy number 1.005, and this has to do with data practices to designate the elected and appointed officials as employees for the purpose of data practice requests. We also approved the application for Falk and Foster Real Estate, Inc. for a conditional use permit amendment to expand the lease area to allow additional ground equipment, building and shelter for the existing cell tower at 12100 River Hills Drive. This is located in Red Oak Park. We approved the findings of fact and the amended conditional use permit. We also approved the amendment to the license for dark fiber agreement between the City of Burnsville and TTM Operating Corporation. And that was the end of the consent agenda. And there were no items on the regular agenda. And the one item on the miscellaneous agenda was the request to move the time of the interviews for our commissioners who are interviewing for positions on the open seat for our boards and commissions to 4:30 because of the number of applicants that we have. That item was presented and agreed upon to move the time of the interviews to 4:30 rather than 5:30, and also then to exempt one of the applicants because we had just interviewed Mr. Benke in November and appointed him. So that was the end of the consent agenda. The item for Mr. Benke to waive his interview was approved. And there were no other items to come before the City Council, and the meeting was then adjourned. Council action replays at 6 a.m. and noon, 6 p.m. and midnight. And City Council meetings replay at various times on Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. And I encourage you to watch the following to see how you can view past meetings and current meetings via the internet at www.burnsville.org. I'm Elizabeth Kautz, Mayor of the City of Burnsville. Thank you for joining me, and continue to make a difference.